Okay folks, this one's a bit disgusting, but it's got potential. We'll see how we go with it. See if we can make this piece of disgusting stuff look really nice, interesting. I'm going to leave it on 100, I think, for now. I hate that button. I keep bumping it. Okay, let's see what this disgusting thing is. It is a single sock I found on the street. Yuck. Nike, though. It's got a good brand name. The brand name I like. I do think. Maybe we'll do something interesting with that name, Nike. But it's a Nike sock. Been on the street, obviously seen better days. It's a dirty, filthy, foot odor to finish it off, you could say. Wouldn't be a sock if it wasn't dirty, I guess you could say. Yeah, that's come up looking quite interesting. Sorry folks, I just had to show it to you. I'm going to do something interesting with it. Maybe we could lighten it further. Maybe add some contrast. I'm just going to pull it up. I'm going to try and straighten it a bit. It's a bit crooked, I do think. So if I can just straighten it up a bit. Maybe put the dock feeder down onto it. Yeah, looks a bit more crooked actually than the first version, or about the same, maybe about less. Looks a bit wishy-washy because we had it lightened a bit. So I do think this version looks better, but this version could be made darker later. Turn it this way, I think. And then darken it. Yeah, that's come up really, really, really nice. The contrast, the solid area, it's not too backgroundy. It looks really nice, and it's mostly pretty well straight as a die almost, you could say. We're going to try and frame the Nike and make it into a mirror image. I don't know how that's going to work, but we're going to try. We've done this kind of shit so many times, it's not funny. As long as I don't touch the bottom side of that sock. Ew, fucking foot odor, folks. You got to understand that. It's not nice. But that's what I do work with my demos. There's a lot of stuff that's been pulled off the street, straight off the street, you could say. Very dirty, very filthy. So many times I I pick up so many filthy things off the street. It's unbelievable, folks, what I get up to, all in the name of art. Really is quite disgusting, folks. It really is. A lot of artists do get up to doing dirty things, all in the name of art. There's a lot of art that is kind of controversial, it's kind of out there, it's kind of nothing you've ever seen, and that's come up looking quite nice. I think we just need to push it on the vertical, and we'll stretch it up. But basically, yeah, art is often like that, folks. Art isn't always clean and fresh and sanitary. It can be quite unsanitary and gross. I think 170 is too small for that. Maybe we'll make it 200 and see how we go. Then we'll make some fine adjustments from there. But yeah, art is often like that, folks, especially modern art, cutting edge sort of art, where things are not always clean and beautifully presented, and you just get a lot of gross, dirty, filthy shit. And basically, yeah, people probably make art with shit. I think they do. I've heard of people. I heard something offensive someone did. I think they peed the word Jesus onto a. Someone piddled a picture. Urinated, should I say, the word Jesus on something. I forgot where that was and what was the context, but it was quite, for a Christian, that's quite offensive. But it's understandable. It's understandable, folks. You got to understand, even if something is offensive and you don't agree with it, sometimes you got to understand where the motive came from, whether the person was upset or the person was grieving or something or other. That person was triggered into making this piece of art. You've got to try to consider the person may not be stable, or the person may be grieving. You just don't know. Maybe a Christian in this case might have said something that was offensive to this person, and he decided to take things into his own hands and create that work of art. You got to examine why these things happen before we start shooting our mouths off in angry tirades against this. I am a Christian, and yes, I don't agree. I do think that is profane to do something like that. The name Jesus is holy to a person like myself, but at the same time, I don't want to be preaching, and I don't want to be getting up on my high horse about it. I just want to understand why the person did it. I haven't actually delved into it, but it's just an example that sometimes you just have to work out why that maybe a Christian person tried to forcefully give what we call the gospel to that person, and that person didn't want to hear the gospel, and the Christian just kept forcing it. I don't know if that's what happened. I'm just using that as an example of why a piece of artwork like that came to be. What was the motive? You got to think about it before we shoot our mouths off in religious anger as Christians. And maybe it's a lesson for us not to be like that, not to be forceful, not to force our Christian faith down people's throats, because it can be more offensive to some people, and it's not going to put them any closer. So, that's a warning I give to Christians out there watching this material, not to be forceful. And that's come up looking quite interesting. I think we can now call this demo quits.